Hello. Today we'll learn object-oriented feature in Java. So what we are going to learn in this video? Oops, in Java, object-oriented program in Java. We have divided this class in 3 or 4 parts. Today this is the first part. Today is the first part. So I'll cover few of object-oriented concept in Java, and rest of the part I'll cover in our upcoming class. Okay. What learned in our previous video? What we learned? Java array, Java multi-dimension array, Java copy array, how to copy array, copy single dimension array, double dimension array, each and everything we learned in our previous class. What topics we'll learn today's class? Today we'll cover Java class and object, instance of operator, method, constructor, access modifier, method overloading, this keyword, final keyword. And apart from these object-oriented feature, I will also discuss two topics, that is string and recursion. How you will handle string and recursion method, that I will discuss today. And the rest of the object-oriented feature like overriding, polymorphism, abstraction, inheritance, each and everything I'll cover our upcoming object-oriented class. So first we should know what is class and object. Java is an object-oriented program language. The core concept of the object-oriented approach is to break a complex problem into a smaller object. So if you write a big program, complex program, instead of writing that, you can separate that into a piece of object. So we have some problem, and solving that problem, we can create individual object or individual class, individual responsibility or individual class that will solve that particular problem. So what is class? I can say class is a category, one group of methods and data. Okay, so we can segregate some method and class data within a class. Okay, so in that way, when we define any class within a class, we can provide some method and data within that class, and we will create object for that class. So this is a complex problem into a smaller object. An object is an entity that has state behavior. A class is a blueprint for a object. So in general, we can say class is a category, and within that category, like bird is a class, animal is a class, dog is a class. That's all are classes. So all classes have their own feature and some properties. When any bird, the bird have two wings, two legs, two eyes, like this. So there's some features. If cover that feature, then we will call this is a bird. So similar type, if we write one class, within a class, we will add some method and properties and data, and that data will call through object. Okay, if you say the bird have not any leg or wings, but if you specify any bird, then you can get that things. Okay, so that's why we can say class is a blueprint or class is a virtual and object is a real. So if you say bird, then you have no nothing. So that is one concept, that if they have any have this feature, then you will call that bird. Okay, like class is also a blueprint or for the object. Before we create the object, we first need to define a class. So without class, we can say we can create any instance yet. We can think of the class as a sketch of a house. Suppose when you define a when you make a building, that time you will sketch, you will design some design. That is a class. It contains all the details about the floor, door, windows, etc. Everything within a class, everything is defined, but you cannot stay on that design. Okay, on basis of that design, on the basis of that design, your mechanic will build a building. Okay, since many house can made from the same design description, so maybe you have a design and same design you can build a 5 multi-story building or 5 building you have created. That is possible. So we can create many objects from one class. So at same as our object-oriented program concept, if you define a class and in this class you can create multiple objects, then all objects will be the same feature as we are following the same design. So if anyone follow the same design and create a building, then all building have the same features. So there are 2 BHK, 2 bedroom, 1 dining, 1 kitchen, 1 everything. Same type will follow all buildings. Similar type, if you create one class and where you have defined some feature, or in here we can say some method and data, that data and method will be available in all objects. All objects, which object is defined on that particular class. Okay. Object is called an instance of a class. For example, suppose bicycle is a class, then on bicycle and sport bicycle, touring bicycle, it is can consider as a object of that class. Create an object, sorry, create an object in a class. Field, method, and class are also called a member of this class. Okay. We can use the name of the object along with the operator to access member of the class. Okay, let's give one example. Then it will more clear what is class and what is object. In our previous class, I already discussed with what is the array and what is that. So today maybe I will use one editor. Maybe not I will use any online editor. I'll use NetBeans. I have very old version. This is one trial copy. You can download from internet or anywhere. You can download. You can collect that. Maybe they need some licensing. So if it is not free, then you have to purchase that. Otherwise, you can use that. So now I am creating one file. I am creating one new project. Here I'm creating one Java application and creating next. And here back you can pull the filter name or whatever. In Java application I am giving the name. Say I am giving the my project, my Java project. Java project. This I am saving a new test Java folder. You can use different folder also. You can choose from here. And here I'll click the finish. Then it will create one new project. My Java project has been created. And within this project, you can see that I'm removing the unnecessary lines, which is not needed currently. So I can remove this also. So if you check that, this is same as our online editor. I'm increasing size. Maybe it will more clear. Okay. I'm not increasing the file size tools. Maybe some text font is there. I can increase, but I can't see that. Where is that? Option. How will you make that? So here you can see that in this class, This is a my project, my Java project. This is a class name, and within that we have a main method, and the file is saved at my Java project.java. My Java project.java is the extension. This is our main project, and we have here another keyword is package. What is package? I will also tell that. Don't worry. Here I am writing one class. Suppose I am creating one class, say first. Within first class, I am writing one method, say public void do sum, like this. One method I have written here, and here I am printing that line out of print ln hello. Like this. In our previous class, we write any message or write any program, whatever we done in our array or for each loop, whatever we write, everything we write in here. But here I have created one class. Within that class, I have one method. Do some. You can write multiple methods, so many methods, whatever needed, you can write. But you should write which is necessary for this particular problem. Here we are not showing and solving any problem or any type of project, but when you do any project that time, so you will create some class. Within that class, so particular that class related all method and data will be there. So all class should be one responsibility. That responsible method will be there. Here when I write class obj equal to new first, and how will call this method? Obj dot do, like this. If you run this program here, now you can see that hello method. This method will call. So here this is a class. So when you call this main method, the main method not know the what is the how the line is printed here. Main method only call this method, then this message is printed. Even if you want to print that message, so by parameters, suppose we are passing string msg, and here we are printing that message instead of hello method msg. Okay, and when you're calling this method, that time you're passing one text, say hi world. So whatever text you pass this method, that method will be the message will be printed. So you don't know how Java is printing that method. You should not. You don't need that. So you will just create an instantiate of this class, and you calling this method do sum. Okay, and within that sum method, the actual method is calling some system.out.println. That message will print. Maybe before printing or after printing, you can do something, some transformation or anything, any type of calculation, whatever, you can do that. Okay, suppose I'm also writing another method, that public void. This is return type. Everybody know that method. This is a method name. I'm explaining one more. This is method name. This is return type, and this is the access modifier. This is public. These are we have 4 types of access modifier: default, public, private, and protected in Java. These 4 type of access modifier. Here I am declaring as public. Why it is public? As I will call this method from outside that class. If this method is any others modifier, that may not be accessible from outside that class. That's why I'm mentioning this public. That means open to all. So everybody can call this method. Whoever creating this object for this class, then he can access the method. So that is the access modifier. So where is accessible or not, that is that we should specify. If you not specify anything, then that is default. If you mention public, then open to all. If you detect protected or private, I'll discuss that also. After that, you should mention the, you should mark the return type. What is the method return type? And after that, it is the method name. And within method, you have writing within method, after the method you have written one parenthesis bracket. Within parenthesis you will write the parameter, whatever parameter you need you can do there. Here I am passing only one parameter, that's why it's when I calling this method, that time I pass one parameter value. If you have two parameters, three parameters, you have to pass that value also. Okay, here I am writing one sum method, and within that I am writing int a and int b. Within there, say int c is a variable, and within c I am calculating the a plus b, and after that I am printing dot print ln well now is plus c, like this. And here you are calling this method that obj dot sum, you can pass whatever you need, pass that value. So now if you run this program, then high world and total value is 77, whatever number. So you don't need to know how it calculate, how it's pinned, that you not need to know, just you are calling. So whoever who is working on the main method, who is the consumer of the class, who is creating that class object of that class, he will just call the method, and within that class you will write everything. Okay, so this is the class, and this class have two feature. One is you can send any text, that message will be pinned. Another feature is that if you pass two value, then you'll get the total value of that two number. Okay, so this type of class you can write multiple of class. So if you write another class which have say class second, and within there you have another method, say public void, or here I am doing integer return type int, and say calculate int a comma b. Okay, here you can calculate any type of calculation you can do, and after that you can return that value int c, or whatever variable you need, you can declare c equal to say a into b, and after that you return c. Okay, now if you call this, if you create another object for second class, x equal to new x dot calculate. So it will return, and you can store that value. The calculate method is only calculate and return the result. So this method will not print. This method not responsible for printing. So this method will only calculate the value and return that value, return the result of that value. So what type of data, return data? This is the integer type will be returned, and that value you should capture here. You can put here int k equal to this, and after that you can print here. Okay, now we'll run this program. Here this total value is printed here. Whatever message needed before and after you can write here using concatenate process, like this. You can concatenate process, you can writing this. So these are the method, and this is a class. First is a class and obj is a object, and here is a second is a class and x is a object. So both are the different class, two categories like animal and bird. So first class have some feature, they can do some work. Second class that have some features, so you can call that method. So whatever you need, that object will create, and that method will go according the whichever method is available within that class. You can call that method. That method will be executed. And when you call that method, if the method needs some parameter, you will pass that parameter. If method not need any parameter, you will not pass that parameter. So suppose you are calling any method here, in you're writing one method public void test. So here you can that plot high. So this, when you call this method not need any parameter. So this method have not any parameter. Just you call this method, then method will execute. This is very simple example, and I'm getting class and object. Within that class, for that class I am creating one object, and this is the second class and I am creating this object. So using that, you should use that code. This is called object oriented feature, class and object. This is the object oriented programming first feature, object and class. After that you have others feature. So if any language have not class and object concept, then the language is not object oriented. So firstmost feature is class and object. This feature must needed if any language is object oriented. Some language is not object oriented, then there are different things, but this language is Java is a full object oriented language. So in this in way you can place class and object. After that, what is other feature for object? Not only this, the class and object. If any language have feature class and object, that time we don't say that the language is object oriented. This is a basic feature that is necessary for any object oriented language. After that, we need other feature also. Okay. Now I'll say I'm go to the slide first. I'll go to the slide, but we'll say method. So method, what is access member? How to what is method and what is method? Now I'll go to constructor. Method, I have already explained what is method. This is the method and method return type and method parameter. So parameter, different type of parameter you can pass. That I have already told. Now I'm coming to constructor. So each class have some default constructor, which if you not write, then that constructor will call. So here you have not write any constructor for class first or class second. You have not write any constructor. So system is provided the default constructor. That's why that for that reason you can able to create this object. In new is a keyword that will create the instantiate of the class. So in call the new, if you declare this method like this, if you run this program, then you will get the error. You will get the red wave line here, red wave line. That means this is our, you are calling method, but your instantiate is not created. Not created. So once instance created, then only you can call that method. This is only declared. You are declared that object, declare the first class object, but no instantiate is created here. So when you write this one, that time object is created. So new keyword is creating the object. That means allocating the memory, allocating the object, allocating the in memory. When you runtime, when you run this program, then in the runtime memory, the object is created there in a one garbage collector, one garbage collector in heap. Actually, not garbage collector. This is a heap. In heap, memory heap will the new object will create in Java memory heap. Now I'll come to the constructor. What is constructor? Suppose if you write any public first, same as class name. What is the name? Same as class name. And this process have not any return type like method. Method have return type, but this have not any return type. Right? Okay. This have not any return type. This is called constructor. You can write something here. That section, this constructor, this is called constructor. Constructor is one type of method that have not any return type, and that's the same name as class. Okay, and this constructor will execute. You can't call this constructor, but this constructor will when it will execute, when this instance set will created. When this line is executed, when new keyword is executed, that time this constructor method will be executed. So if you print this some message, suppose I am printing some method message here. First. And I'm removing this all. You are not calling any method. Here we have not called any method, just get the instance set of the class. If you run this method call, then I first this message is printed. That means this section is executed. So if any task is necessary, so suppose any class needs some data for executing their method, If that data is most necessary, other than apart from that data, the method will not within that method or within the other variable will not work. That type of task we can write here. We can write the constructor. Right, I can give one example. If we are working on project and that project all data you want to save in a database, so that database connectivity is needed. So how will establish that connection from your program and database? That type of code you can write within that constructor, because other than connectivity you can add or ready data or fetch data. So that type of thing you can write here. Okay, even you can initialize some value also. Suppose you can declare some variable here in a and b, two variable you will declare in a class, and that data you want to calculate, assign. So you want to assign some default value, a equal to b equal to say 2. By default value is 0. I am assign a equal to b equal to 2, and now you want to calculate something here. Void public void print say int z equal to a minus b, and not z, and repeat that. So if you call this object and you call this obj dot print, if you run this program, when it's run, then it will print 0. Why it print 0? As both initialize value is 2. If you assign others value, say a equal to true, a equal to 22, and b equal to 8, then it will print different value. If you run this program, then 14 value will be print. So this value is assigned when this constructor is created, when this method is, when object is created for this class, then this variable value is assigned here. Okay, and this method use that value, a and b value. Okay, you can this is a void constructor, and you can pass some parameter also in this constructor. Public first, within that I can pass x, int, y. You can pass a equal to x and b equal to y. There should not be mentioned any type, just public. Okay. So if you run this program, you will get 14, 22 minus 14. But when you create that instantiate, that time which constructor is called? This constructor is called. But here you can say you have two constructor. One is no argument. One constructor have not any argument or parameter, and another constructor have two parameter. So two constructor will not call simultaneously. So if this constructor will call, then this constructor will not call. But if this constructor will call, then this constructor will not call. So how compilers take decision which constructor I need to call? Based on this parameter. When you creating the object, you are not passing any parameter, any value, parameter value here, argument. You are not passing any argument. That's time it will always call this constructor. If you pass that any value, say 7, then you will get error, because you have two constructor, one has no argument and one have two argument, but you have not any constructor which have only one argument. That's why it's throwing an error. So you can pass like this 5. Then in our, when we run this program only, then height first and then 14 print, as this constructor have the calculation. So this assign value and print message. But now if you run this program, you will not get any message, only result value will print 2. What is that? 7, 7 and minus 5. That means 2 values printed here. So first constructor, this constructor is not called here. Only call this constructor is called. As you pass 2 parameters. But here I have one information. That is, if you want to execute both constructor together, If you want to execute the both constructor, how will execute that? Say I want to default value, that means default constructor and this constructor also. That is also possible. How it will do that? You can call this super. Super. Sorry, not write in this way. You can write here and this. Remove that. Super. Sorry. Super is for base inheritance, not here. You can call this constructor here. That first will call here. What happened? It's not calling. It should call. Maybe I'm writing a wrong syntax. Maybe in next day I can put that. Here it should call here like. You can do that. You can do that. Let's check why it's not working. Call default constructor. This or what is this? How this maybe? Yes. Hope it will work like this. Actually, I'm configured Java and C++. So now if you call this method, then it will call. I run to both is printed here. Why it's been 2? So this is also assigned that value, but after that you have overwriting that value. That's why AB latest value will be taken. That is AB pass this value A and B 7 and 5. So this value is overwritten. A and B value is overwritten here. So this method is called. This method will call our default constructor, a base non-parameter constructor, no argument constructor, and here is calling that our parameter constructor. This is the process. This is the constructor, and if you not write any constructor, then system will provide the default constructor. Okay, so this is our constructor, and you can create that constructor. You can call this. If you write another constructor also here, public first int x only, you can assign value a equal to x and b equal to x x into 2, like this. Also you can do that. That time you can pass only one value, 5 or 3. You can run this method. This constructor will execute. -3 is printed here. Okay, here also you can call the another parameter. This call, you can call this here also, this, and you can here you can pass another value 4 and x, like this you can call. This way you can do that. So when you run this program, I pass -3, as this value will call this. When you call this, when you created this object, then which constructor will call? this constructor will call, and within that this method, that means this constructor is calling here, and within that there another constructor, this constructor is called. So all three constructors is executed here. Got it? I hope it's clear now. No argument, parameter, and default constructor. In Java, three type of constructor. Now I will give on another example. Say I am closing this method now, but now I am deleting this. No issue. Suppose when you not write any constructor, when you have not any constructor, system is provide one default constructor. So that's why you have created one method. So when you run this method, then print will print the 0. But no value is assigned, as a, b have not any value. So that value is 0 value is printed here. Okay. Now here, if we write three constructor and remove this constructor only, remove this constructor. What happened? You have three constructor here, and you are removing this constructor only. Which constructor? Only default constructor you are remove. So I am removing that this keyword also here, and this also. This also I have removed here. Okay. Here you are getting one error. Why this is throwing error? But if you not write any constructor, then you will not get any error. But whenever you write some constructor with some parameter, not writing any no argument constructor, that time you are getting instant issue in this case. So logic is that in Java compiler will provide your default constructor. If you not write any constructor, then only your compiler, Java compiler JDK, will provide your one default constructor. But if you write any constructor other than no constructor, other than no argument, if you create any constructor with parameter, that time default constructor will not call. Java compiler will not provide any default constructor. Then you have to pass any value for create instantiate. Have to pass any value. Then only you can be able to create the object. Okay, so this is very important things. If you create any class, and within that class, if you write some parameterized constructor, you you can't create any object without passing any parameter. So better. So I suggest you. So when you create any class, and if you create the default object also, that time you can write one default constructor, no argument constructor also, if it is not blocking your any logic. What is the meaning of that? Not blocking your logic. Suppose you are creating one class that is necessary, so connect with some database program or file program. So database connectivity is necessary. Without that, you will not do anything. You can't do anything. So that case, you can ignore that. You will not write any no argument constructor. You can always write constructor, because whoever created the object, you have to pass your connection information, database connection information. That time you can do that. Otherwise, you will always write one void constructor, no argument constructor, not void, no argument constructor. Then only it will not throw any issue. Now you can run this program, it will get 0, no issue. But if you pass that value, you'll get value. If you pin that message here, it will message pinned. If you not pin that message will not pin. So this is our constructor and our parameterized type of constructor that I have discussed. And this is a keyword that we can call any others constructor. Okay. Another concept is destructor. So deleting the object. Like new is creating the object in memory heap. In memory heap in a Java, using one heap, within that heap you are creating the object. Similar type, if you want to delete that object from the memory, that time you should use the destructor. But in our Java, we don't need to write any destructor. Java compiler Java runtime will take care of that. JVM, Java virtual machine will take care of that. There have one garbage collector. Some garbage collector logic is that is one garbage collector thread is running in Java thread. In Java thread, I will explain the thread, what is thread and how thread is executed. In upcoming lecture, I will tell that. But just for information, that one Java garbage collector thread will run that will destroy the object. So if you create any class and get in class, and after calling that method, if this object is not necessary, in the rest of the program, if this method is not necessary, then you can put this way: obj equal to null. Then object is this object what you declare, that is not referring any instance. First class instance is not referring. So garbage collector is running one certain time interval. So whenever garbage collector found this type of object, this object is now no reference because I have put the null. So this object still exists in memory, but you have not any reference for that. As you have put as a null, you have broke the link, you have broken the link. So whatever object is exist, but that object have not any reference, then garbage collector will remove that object from that memory. The destructor will call them from that memory. Okay, so that's why garbage collector is take care for that. We have not write any destructor. We have not write any destructor. Garbage collector will take that responsibility. Java constructor. This is the parameter constructor, default constructor, Java constructor overloading. Overloading means, then when I tell the method overloading, then it will more clear. Like 1 argument, 2 argument, 3 argument, 4 argument, that's all are overloading. Constructor overloading. Instance of operator. This is one important method. Suppose if you have a big program and within that you have created a first class object and call this method, and you can do that. If it is method is not necessary, if this object is not necessary, you can put that null. Then memory will release that memory. Garbage collector will take care of that and remove from that memory. Okay, so why garbage collector taking this responsibility? As if that object is not necessary, then why you use that memory for saving your memory? So memory management, for managing your memory, garbage collector, your Java virtual machine, JVM, your Java runtime is taking care of that. But in your long program, you have calling this method and method is deleted. After a long program, suppose in here, you want to call this method again. When you call this obj.print, then it will not work. It will throw exception. If you run this program, you'll get one error. Run the 0 is pinned here, but here is getting error. This is red line. You're getting error. Why this error? Because obj have not any instance here. Any object is not refer on this object variable. This object variable. That's why you're getting error. But how you'll check that your object is your obj variable object, whatever you declare is object, has referred any instance set or first class object or not? How will you check that? That you can check in this way. If obj instance of first, then only it will print. Otherwise it will not print. Then you can run this program. The only 0 is print, no error. As you have not instance of object, then it will not print. But if you not do that run, then 2.0 will print. This line will be executed. Both lines will print. Here is this section is code executed. Okay. So this is the one important method, which is you can verify that the instantiate is available or not. Instantiate is available or not. If it is not available, then it will return false. Then method will not call. So before calling any method, you should check this. This is a good practice. You have to check. You can check this. So here is a very small program. You can checking. You can look at that. This object has already created. Why you will check that? Okay, you can think this way. But if we check in this way, this is safer side, then you will not get any error. Object is created or not, don't matter. If it is created, then method will call, otherwise method will not call. Okay, this is the main set of method. Java method, which I have already told, method circular, method color circular, whatever that you can say the method. Method have two defined, user defined and standard library. We have some standard method, library method, which is already we have used in our Java program system.out.println. Println is a method, system is a package. So these are the method you can call. And you how to declare method, I have already told. Public, private, protected, that is the access modifier. After that, your return type, and after that, your method name. And within that method, you can pass your parameter. That is the standard method, library method. This is some method definition I've added here. You can go through this. Now I'm coming method overloading. What is method overloading and how method overloading work in Java? Suppose you have a method sum here. Sum have two parameter. When you call this sum method, I'm removing this sum method, obj.sum, and you're passing 33, and here you're passing 22. Then it will call. But if you write another sum method in the same name, sorry, why it's not copy? I copy and paste. You're getting one error. Has same parameter. Compiler is confused which method should call. Maybe here I'll plus 2, I'll add another 2 value. Then compiler is confused. Java runtime and compiler is confused. Which method need to call? That this same signature have this argument, two argument have two method. Which method need to call? This is very ambiguous error. That's why you're getting one error. But if we change the parameter, number of parameter, suppose you are passing another value, int z, and here pass that z. Z. Then some method will call here two parameter, so it will call this method. If you pass three parameter, then it will call this method. Which method will call? This method will call. Okay. Three value, and here I am putting two value. Two. If you run this program, 3, this method is called. If you pass here two parameter instead of 3, if you pass two parameter, then this method will call. It is this method is called. So same name and parameter are only different, like constructor. Same name. If you check that the method name and return type both are the same. Where is the difference? Only number of parameter. Here I have given only one example, that is number of parameter. You can give the same number of parameter but different type. Maybe you can write here this type of parameter, float, and here also passing that float. So happened float parameter, and now you can collect that there is instead of int you are putting float c, and you remove that jet. Okay, so this is also overloading. So anyhow, you have to get some difference between two method. Same name, method name and return type will be the same, and parameter will be the difference. That is called method overloading. Okay, whenever you call this method, based on this your parameter, what type of parameter or what number of parameter you're passing, on the basis of that the method will call. So this is one type of polymorphism. This is also another feature in object-oriented programming, class object, and another feature I'm saying that that is polymorphism, one type of polymorphism. Two types of polymorphism is available in our object-oriented program, that is dynamic polymorphism and static polymorphism. This is static polymorphism. As compile when you compile that program, so when you compile the program, method is taking decision which method need to call. According to their parameter, number of parameter or type of parameter, the method is taking decision which method need to call. If you pass 3.4 if and here you pass that 4.00 if, then this method will call. Which method will call? 3. As you have printed here that this method is called. You can put change that method for understanding. Whatever you can write. Float method is called. Float method is okay. And if you pass this value, integer value, if you pass the integer value, that integer method will call. Okay, this is called method overloading. Here, return type and method name will be the same, only parameter will be the different. Okay, this is called method overloading. So if you do parameter of same and return type of different, what happened? You can practice that. You can do your end. If you what result you get, you can post your comment. Okay. Now, method overloading achieved by the changing the number of argument or changing the data type of the argument. Now, I'll go, what is access modifier? In string, I have also declared the string. What is string? I'll declare. But before that, I first I'll prefer to discuss what is access modifier. Access modifier, I already told that in Java, access modifier are used to set the accessibility of the class, interface, variable, method, constructor, data member, and the certain methods, certain methods. Okay, so there are several terms, maybe all terms you not know. So I will discuss in our upcoming lecture what is interface, what is everything. I will discuss that. But constructor, data member, you know that. Method also you know, which I have already told. In our Java language have 4 type of access modifier: default, private, protected, and public. Private declare variable only within the package. What is package? So within that package is called default method. Another is private, declare or variable within the class only. Declare our variables within package or all subclasses. So, and public, declare all variable everywhere. What I have declared? So I have declared only public. So what is default, private, protected, that I will discuss. Maybe protected I will discuss when I discuss in inheritance. That time it will be more clear. But private, default, and public I will discuss. For that I am removing this. So this class is all method I've added. I am removing this also, not necessary now. The screen is calling, for that I am removing that. Okay. Here is a constructor. You can put a equal to b equal to 0. You can assign this value also. And here you can write one method public void sum, whatever earlier method. Same as previous. Int c equal to a plus b. Now system C. If you call this method, dot sum. Sorry, call. Class name. What is the class name? First. Yes. Or hasn't. Oh, I have missed the semicolon. That's why getting this error. Here is printed here. Okay. Suppose this is a method, and then method declared as a public. That's why you can able to call this method. If you call this method, if you put this private, if you call this method a private, if you call this run this, you'll get error. Why? As you have not access for this method. This method is private. Okay, as this method is private, you can't access this. If you put public, then you can call this. So when you declare any private, that is only accessible within that class, within class. So when private method is necessary, suppose if you declare any method as a private, and here you are doing that, or you can do this method is public, and within that you can put that public is putting here another method called private cal. It will get the private int. Let's be here. You will pass that call cal. So if you have a big calculation, maybe calculation method here is only addition. If you have a big calculation, then cal method will call here, and cal method will call here like this. This method will not expose outside. So who are getting that object, they can call this method. Outside that class, no one can able to access this method, as this method is a private method. Private method or data is available only within that class. Outside that class is not available, but within that class, some method you are calling, some is calling this value, then it is correct. Suppose you are adding some value, then it will value the 34 and be equal to 22, 23. Now you run this program. 57. How flow is work? So when you call this some method is calling, this method is called, and within that you are calling cal method. Cal method is return this addition value, and that value is printed here. Okay, so this is a private method and this is public method. Public method can accessible outside, but private method is not accessible. Okay, but if you not mention anything, then what happened? If you run this program, you will not get any difference. But can you call this method here also? If you call obj.cal, this is also you can able to call. Yes. So if you need call this method here, intc, intp equal to this, you can call this, and here you can also print. Both number is printed. This is called default access modifier. Whenever you not mention anything, that means that is default. If you mention anything, that means public or private. Protected will come later. But currently I'm focusing on 3 access modifier. One is default, one is public, one is private. Private is not accessible other than within a class. Within a class, you can only access the private data. Other than class, you can't access that. But default is also available outside. But here I have one concern. So here as A, B is also default. No access modifier is mentioned here. That's why that is default. So you can mention that value obj dot A equals to 31 and obj dot B equal to 12. So you can assign that value here. So after creating object, through object you can access the data also. You can check that, you can print that value 43. This value will be printed here. But if you protect that data, so no, I'll only express the method, not any data. That time you should declare this data should declare as a private. So then you'll get one error. It will get error. If you run this program, then it will get error. Okay, it will not run this. Okay, I hope it's clear. Now private protected. Now default is, so now my question is that what is the difference between default and public? Yes, there are some difference. Say I am creating all class within a same package, my Java package. Package nothing but a logical group of a class. That means you are segregate your class within a package. You have, say you have 100 classes, some calculative method, some string manipulating method, some array related method, some iterative related method. You have defined different type of package. 4 package you have defined, and within that package, as per the package name, you have defined all class within that package, which is numerical calculate method. You have defined that in numeric package. Whatever arithmetic, what is the string related method, all method you have defined within a string package, like that. This is a logical divided. Okay, so here we have also declared one package, that is my package, my Java project. If you create another package, suppose I want to create another package, and there I will write one method, new package. Say this is called say what is it, other package. Other package is created, and here we are going to add one class, Java class. I am adding the first class, and I am doing one more things. I'm doing one more things, that's I'm removing that, and within that my Java project, here I am moving this first class from here to, it's working fine, but I'm not writing this class here. I'm removing this class here and putting that in another package. Okay, as a private a is a variable and a value variable as a header method. This is the different package. This is another package, other package, and here first.java is a class. Within that, first is a class, and there is your method. Here, when you create this first class, it will not accessible, as this is the different package. So we can create object only within package. As this is the different package, we should import that. Dot star within other package, all method I am importing. Then it will other package. What is that? Footage my Java dot other package. I am putting star. I can mention the class name. There only one class package. Other package I am imported. Now, if you notice that this method is returning error. This method is throwing error. Why? When this class is here, if I first class I am copy again this method, same feature, same things. If we write here within a class, then it will not throw any error. But here you can do first, and here you can put another name you can put, it is second. For better understanding, I put that. File name should be changed, otherwise it will not accessible. Second. Second Java. Second, so this is a calculate method, and here it's not getting error. But same things, I'm getting the second class object. Second, then we are getting calculate method. So here is the difference between default and public. Within the package, default behave like public. This is same as public, but whenever it's outside the our package, outside that package, other than the package, then it will throw exception. Then it is not accessible. If this method is public, then only it's accessible. So public is available for all, other package or same package. But default is available within package, behave like public within package. But other package, if it is a different package, it will not accessible, just like behave as a private method. So if you declare any package and within package you have calculating some method, default method, that method is available. If you have declared another class here, and within that class you can call this method, that is accessible. But this is different package. If you check that this is a my Java project, and here is the package name is other package, right? Is other package. So both are the different. You can remove this word also, then it will be more visible. More visible. This is the my Java package, and here is the others Java package. And here is the save. When you create that file, then I am forget to remove that. That's why I have to mention here this. Here also I have to mention this. So better if you not mention that parent name, then not necessary to mention here. Okay. So this is the concept. So within that package, same as public, but outside that package, it is outside the package. If it is outside, then it is behave as a private. So that is the difference between default and public. And private are same. Private is accessible only within that class. And protected, one types of private, but that is only available when you inherit, when you define a subclass, inherited class. So today I am not declaring the inheritance, so it will take some time. So that I will not discuss. Tomorrow, maybe in the next class, I will discuss. Then I'll more protected I will discuss. Then I will discuss the protect method, access modifier. Okay. This is our access modifier. So public, protected, private, this is the access modifier. Here is going on good diagram. So when I'm declaring well inheritance every feature, then only you can understand this picture very good. This keyword I already discussed. What is this keyword? So this keyword I have already discussed in our constructor part, when this is a call within the method. Another one good example I can give you, that's if you want to say, suppose you have get on another constructor within the class, public first int x int y, and you are passing the a and b same name. So when the a equal to a and b equal to b, it will be a little confused. This a means the this a, and this a is the this a. So identify that you can use this a. In this way, you can do that. This way. So this is the this dot a. This dot a means this within the class, first class a. That means this a. This is first class b. That means this b. And this a means here is the argument a b. So in this way you can segregate that. And apart from that, I have given one example. This dot this. Okay. Even when we call this method, actually this also called in this way. This cal. This is the actual way to call this method. Okay. This is the this keyword I've already explained. Now another topic is final keyword. Another keyword is final. Maybe this is the last topics that I will discuss today, and maybe two things is pending, that is string and recursion. Maybe I'll discuss our upcoming video. What is final? You are declaring the variable, private variable ab, and you are assigning the value. Okay, now final keyword, if I use a final also. Now we run this program. I'm closing this method. Sorry. First, if I run this program, it will throw result 57. Now suppose someone pass some value within the calculator method, say int x int y, and I want to assign that value a equal to x and b equal to y. If you run this program, you will get error. Why? As this is the final variable. Final variable you can only assign within the constructor. That is one read-only type variable. So when instantiate is created, instantiate the object, that time you can assign the value. After that, you can't assign. This is read-only type variable. So that's why you're not able to assign this value here. If you call this value, if you pass this method value 4544, and here you remove that final keyword, then it's okay, no issue. You can run this program. It's very okay. But if you put that final keyword, final is get the variable as a read-only variable. Okay, that means that variable you can't assign after instantiate. Within instantiate you can assign some value. So that's why constructor is allowing the assign, but apart from that you can't assign that value here. Okay, same as I am saying, another concept is constant. If you declare constant is not access modifier, that time also you are getting this error. Constants means when you declare the variable, that time only you can assign the value. Any value here. You can't assign any value here. Okay. Here also you can't assign. Constants is only here. Why constant is not supporting? I don't know what constant is not supporting. Illegal short form. I don't know full form. What is the full form of constant variable? Just a minute. Why it's throwing error? What is that? Constant variable. Final. You can declare that as static equal to 33. This is a constant variable. Int. It should mention the int type. This is a constant variable. So this constant variable, when you declare, that time you can assign the value. You can assign value here also. Here also getting the error. But that's why you should use final keyword. You can assign the value within constructor. Within constructor you can assign the value. But You can assign value in other area also. You can't assign value in other area. Okay, you should assign another value b also. You can declare b, and here you can do b equal to 33. Clear? Final keyword. Same as you can define any method as a final. That is also possible. You can define any method final. So that time you can't override that method. But when I'll discuss the override and inheritance, that time you will understood. So this final keyword only I have discussed for variable. Same things you can put a method. You can final any class also. You can declare class as a final. That is also possible. So that case, in that case, you can't inherit that class. So that is only I'll discuss after the discussion about inheritance and overriding method. Just today I have discussed final keyword for variable only. Final variable, final method, and final class I'll discuss later. This is Java string. I'll discuss next class. Today I'll not discuss this string and recursion. These two topics is pending. I'll discuss later. Thank you.